Come join us for family camp out this week. We'll share some of our favorite camping tips, tools, our favorite hikes in Mt Rainier. We tested out the sourdough pancakes to see if they could make it coming on a camping trip with us. So much goodness, and we're so glad that you can come along. You don't even have to put your hiking boots on. We'll do all the hiking for you. Let's go. Let's go have fun camping. Note to self, double check the national parks because a lot of them have online reservations. What's it called?
I think you nailed that right on the head. It's an online reservation.
Online reservation for a timed entry. And oops, we forgot that Mt Rainier started doing that. And so we got here to go up to the campground, which is a first come, first serve.
Yeah.
And now we have to wait. The guy is being really kind and saying we can come back in a couple hours and he'll let us in.
Yeah, but if you have what I define as campground anxiety, this is the worst possible scenario because you sit while the cars drive by. 1, 2. And we know there was 56 sites this morning.
Please don't go up to the campground because we hope that there's one spot for us.
Just one. We just need one spot.
We don't even care if it's right next to the stinky outhouse. But maybe it could be right next to the river. We'll see.
Would have been if we had had our timed entry.
Oh, whoops.
Nobody's fault. All our fault.
It might be my fault. I should have checked. A little bit more. That's good. I think it's good. We got a spot. Spot 14. This is the anti-anxiety spot. We got it. Did the game make it? No. Well, you can't leave your game sitting here, that's for sure. We got this 65 Aristocrat travel trailer about 5 years ago, and it was the best decision we ever made. Yes, it requires a bit of fixing, and we're still working on it, but we love going on adventures in it. The kids were all much smaller when we first got it. 5 years makes a huge difference, and all 5 of us used to sleep in it together. And the trailer part's only about 13 feet long, but it's so quaint, very cozy, and it feels luxurious after tent camping for years. One of the reasons we love White River Campground is because it sits right at the base of Mt Rainier. That's Mt Rainier right behind us. And this river comes straight out of her glacier. So it is freezing cold, but so beautiful. It's our favorite spot to come at the end of the day. Every evening we came down here, we were trying to build a new river, and then we'd come check on it the next day and see if the water had pushed any rocks away. So cool. Before we left, I made sourdough focaccia bread. It's so easy. If you're new to sourdough, you gotta make it. I'll put the recipe below. You can come and make it with me. Camping, focaccia burgers. Oh yeah, baby. This is Aaron's pancake perfection, which normally he makes these without sourdough. And you can make them either way, they're delicious. What do you think the secret is, babe?
The secret.
Besides you.
The secret is you put vinegar in the milk, and then when you mix it in with the baking soda, it makes it and fluff up.
So even if you aren't using sourdough, it still has that.
So then the secret for the sourdough would be similar because the sourdough bubbles make it all fluffy.
It's kind of like double bubble because it has that homemade buttermilk.
Yes. So even camping, they're turning out pretty good.
Yeah. Look at, you're squeezed in 2 of them. Ooh. Okay. Good morning. That's a serious.
This is tight quarters here.
Yeah, it is. Oh, they look good though. Look at that golden.
This one.
Man, Parker's way better at this. I can't believe you fit them both in there. Ooh, way to
Years
go.
of practice with the best spatula, the old school.
I know. The spatula from the 80s that we've like searched for.
Yeah, if you find one of these, grab it.
Yeah, they're the best.
Send it to 3977.
No. We got this little trailer several years ago, and it has been on so many adventures with us, or I guess it's taken us on so many adventures. And this is one of our favorite local places to come to, Mt Rainier National Park, to the Sunrise Visitor Center. And I'm going to tell you a couple of our favorite hikes, because if you ever get up to this area, you really need to come. So the first one that you need to check out is called the Burroughs, and it is about 6 miles from the visitor center out and back. So total about 6 miles. It's not a very hard hike, but the scenery for the entire hike is stunning. And there was just a little bit of snow left that we had to walk through, but it wasn't too bad. And this is the amazing view you're going up to. And right now we're on the first Burroughs, and we're headed up to the second Burroughs. One of the things that everybody tries to make it to Mt Rainier to see, besides the amazing mountain, is the wildflowers, and we were thrilled they were in bloom. And here we are. We made it to the top of the Burroughs. I had the best idea. So a friend gave me this like satchel a while ago, and it's been in the camper, and I brought a lavender iced tea. I put it in here last night, put it in our little fridge and froze it, and look it is like still ice cold. We're on the top of, let's see, this is second Burroughs, with ice cold lavender lemon iced tea from the garden. Oh, there's still ice chunks in it. It's always hard to leave the top of the mountain. Look at that, it's epic. Bella and I were so involved in chatting and eating our trail mix and soaking in the beauty around us that we didn't even see what was walking in front of us. I'm pretty sure that the bear was so busy eating trail mix that it didn't even pay attention to us, but I'm so glad Parker saw it and we got to stand here and watch the bear just mosey on through this little meadow. We decided we are going to call this Bear Meadow. It's right by Shadow Lake, because when we were on this hike 2 years ago, we saw a bear in this exact same spot. And so had actually been having conversation about it before we got to this point, saying, hey, be on the lookout for bears. So it's a little ironic that Bella and I were not on the lookout for it. But if you go hike around Shadow Lake at the Sunrise Visitor Center, be on the lookout, because of course you always want to be careful around the bears. One of the perks of staying at the White River Campground is that you can literally hike back down to it from all of the beautiful hiking that you're doing around the Sunrise Visitor Center, and you cross over these waterfalls again and again as you're coming down the mountain. So the cool thing is, when you're up on the top by the visitor center, you see these really beautiful creeks going through the meadow, and there's a lake up there, and all of that water is trickling down the mountain headed to the river. And as you take this trail back down to the campground, you get to cross over it again and again. And the best way to end the day is down at the river, throwing the rocks. We had to, of course, check and see, had our river become anything? And soaking your feet after you've hiked 9 miles feels so good. Just wiggle your toes down into that freezing cold mud. The next morning, we grabbed an easy breakfast so that we could get on the trail early, because we have a couple different hikes we want to do. The first one is the Mount Fremont Lookout Trail. You start on some of the same trails that you walked in order to get to the Burroughs, but then when you get to the frozen lake, you're going to split off and go the other direction. And the view from the Mount Fremont Lookout is so gorgeous, because you get a view looking north, up towards the Cascade Mountains. And look, do you see it way off in the distance? That's where we're headed, and look what we found on the trail. It's a marmot. I don't know what it was that it was eating, but us, along with the other hikers on the other side of him, were trying to get it to just gently move off the trail so that we could go by and not disturb it. But it was so intent on chewing on something on the trail, we could barely get it to move. And then I kept hoping that it would scream. Have you ever heard a marmot scream? When we went on a hike at Mount Rainier a couple of years ago, the marmot that was around us started screaming. I don't know if it was because of us or something else, but we were all so shocked. I had never heard that before. So go ahead. You can pause the video. Go Google marmot screaming. It's so funny. But yes, we did finally get around it. But they're so cute. Don't you just want to give it a hug? No, I didn't. Don't worry. I did not give it a hug. And here is the beauty of getting up to the Mount Fremont lookout. You get this massive view of Mount Rainier, but you also have this 360-degree view of all of the mountains surrounding it, up into the North Cascades, out towards the water, and we had the most gorgeous day to be up there, just soaking in the layers upon layers of mountains. It's a little hard to leave the top because it's truly so gorgeous. We just kept stopping and taking more photos, but you are hiking towards Mount Rainier the entire time you're headed back down. And so it makes the hike back down towards the visitor center just as amazing as getting up to the lookout. As you're driving up to the Sunrise Visitor Center, there's this great spot where you can pull off into the parking lot and have an overlook of the valley of Mount Rainier. And that is where the second hike of our day started, and it's called Clover Lake. It's a super easy hike. There's only a small amount where you have to actually hike back up once you're coming back from the lake, but make sure that you have bug spray because there's quite a bit of bugs down there. But the meadows were filled with wildflowers and the sun was out. It was the most peaceful, lovely hike. We just took our time getting down there to soak it all in. There's this prayer that I love from Every Moment Holy. I don't know if you have that book, but it is the most beautiful prayer. It's all about leaving on holiday, and it says, "You have fashioned us to function best in rhyming lines of work and rest. Our relaxations and recreations like unspoken invitations to that still greater holiday to come." Whenever we go on vacation, those lines just echo in my heart. Rhyming lines of work and rest, and it's so good to have days away to just soak in nature and wildflowers and time together to talk about silly stories and make memories. And so welcome to the meadow. Some of our favorite things to bring whenever we're going on hikes is, number one, we got to have something fun to drink. So I was just thrilled that this little pouch worked so good. I could freeze it and bring it with us. It made having sitting down to have a snack or lunch so luxurious because we had this ice cold drink. We love bringing tuna packets because they're flavored, they're not messy. You can open it up and put it on a slice of bread or just eat it straight out of the packet. The kids love having corn nuts, trail mix, dried fruit, and everybody has their own backpack, which I really think is essential. Even when they were little, everybody had their own little pack, and they all had their own camel pack. So everybody could have their own access to water, and they got to carry their own snacks. And if they decided to take off their sweatshirt, they had somewhere to put it. So get backpacks that fit everybody. Heading down to the river felt so good. We soaked our feet again, and I'm going to tell you, after 2 days of hiking 9-ish miles each day, stretching is essential. It's underrated, but you got to do it. You got to stretch. It makes going for a hike the next morning way more fun. And now for a few of our camping essentials. And I'm going to put the links to all of this down below, and any recipes that I reference, they're down in the description below. But you need a set of solar powered string lights. I think they're essential. They make every campsite feel completely magical. Some of our other essentials I already mentioned: a backpack, a camel pack. You need to have these insulated mugs that keep your coffee hot, even if it's sat there for a while, because hello, there's no microwave. Some of our favorite coffee makers that we use for slow coffee days. We grind our own beans. I put the whole essentials list down below, but here's one of the other perks of being at the White River Campground is that there are these really great hikes right from the campground. You get to go straight over the river. Some of them you get closer up to the mountain. You can see the glacier. You can access the Wonderland Trail. It's so lovely. You just leave your campsite and go for a little jaunt in the morning. And the sun was coming up and streaming through the trees, and it was the best way for us to end our time at the national park. And the beauty of being away is that home is the sweetest place to come back to. We're glad you could come camp and hike with us. We'll bring you on more adventures soon, but next week we'll be back with Life at Cider Press Lane, and we have a really special week to share with you because we're hosting the first Freedom Dinner of the summer. And if you don't know about our Freedom Dinners, I'll give you a little snippet. Everybody's a volunteer. Everything we serve is donated so that all of the proceeds from the dinner can go straight to fight human trafficking. And we'll share all about that next week. It's really the heart of our business. We donate to Atlas Free from all of our proceeds. And so you watching this video, you're fighting human trafficking. So thanks for being part of our everyday life. This, my friend, is the joy of living.